Samsung has had a big year, so we've got some awards to hand out for 2025. Welcome back to SamMobile TV. You're here with Daniel. And on my table here is all the products I have from Samsung that was released this year in 2025. There was obviously a few more that I haven't got my hands on. Things like the Galaxy Book 5 Pro. Didn't end up getting that. But I did have my hands on with some of the other devices like the Galaxy S25, Tab S11, the standard Galaxy Watch 8 were all in my possession this year at some point, so I can speak to them. So let's go through the list of awards, starting with a new one for this year. Last year we didn't have this, called Best Feature. And it comes in the form of a Galaxy AI feature that Samsung launched way back at the start of the year with the launch of the Galaxy S25 series. And that is going to be the Now Brief. The Now Brief for me is Samsung's best feature that they've launched this year in 2025. Just because of the fact that it brings together so much useful information, particularly if you're in the Samsung ecosystem. The Now Brief just tells you so many useful things and brings to light so many useful things about your day. Things like the weather for the day that you're in. You can add in your own sort of stuff too if you want to make sure that it reminds you. You've got Spotify recommendations, you've got YouTube recommendations. It talks about your sleep, it talks about your energy score. It's just sort of tying together everything that you have from your day, and at multiple points lets you sort of pick and choose the information and view them. You can go into the content to include, you can choose the ones that you want, and they've made it better throughout the year as well by allowing you to play it with this little icon here and it'll read it aloud to you.
Afternoon energy. Hope you're having a great afternoon. It's currently 29 degrees Celsius in Clear Island waters with a hot...
So that's the Now Brief, and for me, that wins my feature of the year. And let's go to the next award, the Best Display. Now, there's a lot that probably might consider itself to have the best display, but there's really only one, because the one that has the standout display from every single device that's launched this year is the one from the Galaxy S25 Ultra. And there's really only one reason for that, and that's the anti-reflective coating. You can just see, even by holding it up to my studio light here and comparing it to something like the Fold 7, how much better the anti-reflective properties of the display is. And you couple that with everything else that this display has got, the fast refresh rate, the great levels of brightness for outdoors, and you've got the best display of the year, hands down. Best display winner? Galaxy S25 Ultra. Then we move on to the best designed device from Samsung for this year. There's a couple of products on this table that might consider itself to be the best designed. You've got the Flip 7 with its insanely large cover screen. You've got the Galaxy Watch 8 Classic, which for me is my favorite and preferential designed smartwatch that Samsung make purely because of the rotating bezel that it has. But neither of them have won the best design. You might think it might go to the Fold 7 because of what Samsung have done by making it incredibly thin when closed and feeling like a normal phone in the weight of the hand. But it hasn't won. My winner for best designed phone for 2025 from Samsung, or best designed device, is a phone, and it's the Galaxy S25 Edge. This could be controversial because realistically looking at it, it's not like they've designed something that's striking, because it's quite vanilla. The camera layout's quite plain, the design on the back's quite plain, but it's nothing to do with its physical appearance. It's to do with how it feels when you're holding it. The weight, incredibly light. The thickness, incredibly thin. And just it feels incredible in your hand and sort of beggars belief that this is actually a smartphone made in 2025 with the components that it has and how light it is. So I just think for those reasons, you've got the best designed phone this year. They've managed to fit high-end componentry, decent enough battery for the size of phone that it is, massive display, flagship camera setup, in a body this thin and this light. That is why, for me, this has won the Design of the Year award for 2025 for Samsung. Next one I've got is the best productivity device. And this is one that you can, I guess, utilize from a sense of getting work done, and it kind of blends work-life balance together, whether that be entertainment or productivity. This is the device that I would say you could get that really makes productivity easier. Now, it's actually not something that's on this table, but it's part of the family of something that's on the table because it belongs to the Tab S11 series, and it's not the Tab S11 Ultra, it's the standard Tab S11. For me, the compact size, I guess compact-ish, of what this device is, coupled with the S Pen that comes bundled in the box and optional accessories like the keyboard cover, and for me, the Tab S11 just provides that productivity in a really good form factor, one that I don't think is matched by anything that's on this table from a just pure productivity sense. Obviously, Fold 7 could go close just for the fact that it unfolds into this mini tablet and then folds back up into your pocket. Not having used the trifold or it not having actually released yet officially, I mean, it's announced but not released, it doesn't qualify. So the Tab S11 for me wins the productivity device of the year for 2025. Then we've got the best camera. And this is a no-brainer. The best camera on this table is the Galaxy S25 Ultra. Because of the fact you've just got a lot of them. It offers you flexibility at every single point. You've got the 50 megapixel ultra wide, you've got the main 1x 200 megapixel camera, you've got the 3x telephoto. Although people hate it, it's still good that it exists and offers decent enough output. And then you've got the excellent 5x telephoto at 50 megapixel. This camera in particular for me kind of tips it over the edge just for the fact that it gets you so much flexibility and the range that this has. Add in the camera modes that the S25 Ultra has got, and yeah, it's camera of the year. Now I've got a worst award, the worst design, because you can't just have positive awards, that'd be boring. So we've got the worst design product of 2025. For me, probably the worst design product this year is actually on this table. It's the Tab S11 Ultra. And not because it's thin, because it is, and not because it's light, because it is. It's just because it's lazy. I don't think Samsung really tried with this one here because of the fact that they've got this ugly notch still here, one that didn't need to exist. Like, why did Samsung need to put this right here? This notch absolutely was not necessary for this device. I think Samsung could have tried much harder in designing the Tab S11 Ultra, and as well, the S Pen attaching here is also quite ugly. They could have, again, figured something better out because I really missed the convenience of the flap from the cover that would keep the S Pen secure at the back here. So I think whilst maybe it's thinner and lighter and, from a different profile it could look better, I think practically, I just don't think it offers that really good design that's functional. And that's why for me, this is the worst design product from Samsung for 2025. And I bought it anyway. Next up is best wearable. Now, this is where you can sort of go into the wearable category. So the watches, buds. You haven't got a lot to choose from here, but there's the Galaxy Watch 8, there's the Watch 8 Classic, and you've got the Buds 3 FE, and I think there was the Buds Core as well. Never got them, wasn't really interested. For me, the best wearable, hands down, from a value to effectiveness point of view, is the Galaxy Buds 3 FE. These have been sensational. They're comfortable to wear, they sound great, and they have a really nice sort of matte finish case, and the finish on the buds is nice. They're matte finish as well. So for me, I just think that these are, for me, Samsung's best wearable product for 2025 for all of those reasons. Case is nice, the design of the buds is nice, they fit great, and the sound is good. Awesome. Now we've got a run of awards heading into the end. The next one is best foldable. Now, again, the trifold doesn't quite make it yet because one, it's not available globally, although that didn't hold the Fold Special Edition against itself last year. I didn't hold it against the Special Edition. Doesn't matter. And two, it hasn't technically launched yet, so it can't quite fit the bill of best foldable when it's actually not available. It might be available once the video goes live, but at the time of recording, it's not out officially. It's just been announced. And there's really only there's three. You've got the Flip 7 Fan Edition. The Flip 7 Fan Edition, which I think was a great product offering at the wrong price, too expensive for what it got you, needed to be cheaper. And then Samsung have barely spoken about it. Got the Flip 7, which I think is sensational to look at and a really nice phone, but not the best foldable. Samsung nailed the Fold 7 this year and it wins the best foldable for me. I think the reason why it's the best foldable is because it's now, I think, the most accessible for normal smartphone users. You have the normal smartphone screen here on the front, and then you unfold it into the tablet and you get the tablet mode. But the front is really what sells it because of the fact it's got a great width, it's got a good height, and it's lightweight, 215 grams and only 8.9 millimeters thin this way. It means you are basically holding a normal smartphone and you just get that added benefit of unfolding it into a tablet. That's why it wins Best Foldable. Next up is Best Smartphone. This is, I guess, a category that envelops sort of the best a smartphone can be. So if you're out there going to look for a smartphone and you want the best of everything, the best camera, the best display, the best battery life, what is the best smartphone? Well, there's only really one that can kind of meet all of those criteria, and that's the S25 Ultra. This, for me, just gives everyone the peak or like the top, almost the top of every category you could want. Cameras, tick. Display, tick. Battery life, tick. Performance, huge tick. 8 Elite for Galaxy. And then you've got the added benefits of things like One UI being part of it, and also the S Pen being included as well. Because the S Pen, even though it was nerfed this year and removed a feature, the Bluetooth, it's still on board with the Galaxy S25 Ultra. And for me, this is why this can be considered, I think, the best smartphone Samsung have made in 2025. Now we're down to our last 2 awards. I've got a flop and I've got the best. The overall flop for 2025, there's no other thing that deserves this award other than the rollout of One UI 7. I think it was definitely Samsung's biggest failure of the year, hands down. Not only did they delay it until deep into the start of 2025, but they also then delayed multiple devices along the way. The rollout barely finished and we were already starting to talk about and had One UI 8 on our phone and now even 8.5. So I feel like the failure from Samsung with One UI 7 has to be the flop of the year. And it's not even the software itself, because the software itself was incredible. It was the rollout of it and the handling of it and the lack of communication. I was going to say communication, but really there wasn't any. And then the best product of the year, the overall one that I think captured a lot of attention, but also just hit the right notes and met the right expectations and exceeded them. I think it has to be none other than the Fold 7. Because of what Samsung did by making this more mainstream, by hitting this phone with the thinness, the lightness, giving it the flagship camera setup, with the main and the ultra wide having dual pixel, making it so accessible on the front where you can do pretty much every normal smartphone activity on here. For me, it just doesn't get beaten by anything else that's on the table or anything else that was released this year in 2025. So Fold 7 goes straight to the top of best products Samsung launched this year. You let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Which of these would you have chosen as your best product? What is your flop of the year? And any of the other categories that we went through, I want you to name your list down below. Hit subscribe to SamMobile TV whilst you're down there. Go check us out on all our socials and our website, and we'll see you guys next time. Thanks.